Hi guys, in today's video, I will be showing how I build any tank heroes, featuring one of the most underrated tanks, Lolita.
Your team is picking.
As you probably already know from the intro, the enemies have two of the most annoying heroes in the current meta, which are Granger and Chang'e. Our Esper decided to pick a tank, but I already planned to use Lolita after seeing Granger and Chang'e picked by the enemies, so I am telling him to be the side laner. I did not regret picking Lolita, because with her team would gain a lot of protection, especially against Chang'e. In fact, Lolita would be a better tank to be the roamer, because Johnson would spend most of the time searching for fights in his car form. Lolita has to be near her mage or core to provide help. That is why I think Johnson would be a better pick as a side laner instead of the roamer. The enemy just decided to pick Hanabi, which means now we have to end the game as early as possible, otherwise she would become a big threat. Regardless, with Lolita in your team, marksmen would have to think twice before continue attacking. By the way, these are my builds, and I will explain later into the game what to build first as the game progresses. Tank is quite a special role. Like many guides I have seen on YouTube, many people just say you have to build according to the enemies, but only a few explain how to do that. As a side note, you really have to understand the gears in the game when playing as a tank, instead of just copying top players' build, because all your enemies are different from each game. By the way, I'm using the third talent of the support emblem with max points of hybrid Regan, so I can use the ultimate plus flicker trick more often and not have much mana problems.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
In the beginning, always start with the roam item.
5 seconds.
After that, I would normally buy the boots, then proceed with the iron mask. Try to get into one of the middle bushes as early as possible, so your mid laner can farm more peacefully. After clearing the middle waves, try to contest the Lethal Wanderer as it gives your mage mana regeneration and extra vision for your team. Because of my shield from skill 2, I managed to block a lot of damage from Chang'e, so I could reflect a lot of damage to Hylos. Since we managed to lower Hylos HP by a lot, the next time we would have the upper hand when any fights occur, or when we have to take objectives. As a tank, you want to save your flicker more for an initiation, but since I have not got my ult, putting flicker on CD will not be a big deal. Most importantly, the enemies will not get free gold from killing me this moment, and earn too much early game advantage. I panned around the map, and I heard Granger used Retribution at the blue buff. This means he would still be somewhere near there. I totally did not mean to steal it, but honestly, if I did not try to stun him, he would have ran away since he got his skill 2 ready. Now, we got the gold advantage, and we definitely should try to contest the turtle. As you can see here, I'm trying to buy the boots first because I mistakenly bought Iron Mask before completing the boots. After completing the boots, I would proceed with Courage Mask if my team has the advantage. Otherwise, if my team is losing, I will go for the first defense item needed to sustain longer in fights depending on what type of damage dealer is dominating in the enemy team. What I mean is, if the enemy mage or magical core hero is dominating our team, go for Athena's shield before completing the roaming mask. On the other hand, if the enemy physical core hero is dominating, go for anti-cuirass.
I detest war. Launch attack.
I was trying to body block Granger's bullets, so he won't get the turtle, and fortunately his ultimate deals area of effect damage. Although they managed to get the turtle, 2 of them sacrificed while we were all still alive, so I guess we still won that trade.
This weapon is awesome.
Well, We gave our advantage away just like that. And this is what happens when you get overconfident. So, I would like to say,
ごめんなさい。
Don't worry, my friend. I am your shield.
I noticed Hylos was going to the bottom lane all by himself. This means we can attack him. Doesn't matter if the target is a tank, if he is out of position, we can kill him with no problem.
Run out on us all.
I noticed Guinevere coming, and she would most likely have to walk nearer before using her combo on my team. Therefore, I anticipated her anticipation, so I decided to ult both of them in the bush, so my ultimate skill effect would be invisible.
Enemy missing. An enemy has been slain. Good game.
Not gonna lie, it is really satisfying to catch your enemies with Lolita's ult.
Push first.
I was checking if Granger's buff can be invaded, but I got myself in trouble. This Johnson is pretty good though. I knew Hylos will be dead, so I tried using Flicker to reach chang'e, but ended up putting myself in another danger.
Oh, hell no!
Good game. Our turret has been destroyed.
Such a miracle though. Do not do what I just did. It was definitely not a good play.
Thank you. Ult is not working.
Since chang'e can be mostly countered using my skill too, and Granger was their second biggest threat, I decided to build Antiquaras as my first item for damage soaking.
Ult is ready. I am your shield. Request backup.
I saw my team taking the turtle, so I'm going to that direction to provide assistance.
Life will one day run out on us all. An ally has slain the turtle. An enemy has been slain.
I thought Hanabi was dead already, so I went for the others instead. However, as soon as I noticed no one was following up, I decided to stop chasing. As a tank, I would not have enough damage to kill. In the worst case scenario, I would give them a free kill. I have seen a lot of tank players do not know when to engage and when to retreat, so I am pointing these things out. Pay attention to my movement. I did not follow up Lancelot because Granger is 100% dead because he wasted his blink, so I'm staying here so the buff does not get reset.
Killing spree. Request backup.
If only I had not wasted my blink skill, I could have survived here, but it was still okay, since their jungler is dead and our core got to steal the buff. Our score seemed to be quite good, but we kept on making some mistakes that can potentially help the enemies win. For instance, our side laner, Johnson kept on looking for fights and ignored his lane. As a result, he will be giving Hanabi free gold, and delaying our mid's rotation.
Initiate retreat. Ult is ready. Don't worry, my friend. I am your shield. Ult is ready. Ult is ready. Destroy the turret.
As usual, I went for the others after knowing Granger will surely be dead by Johnson's crash.
Slain. Request backup.
That was pretty risky, but my teammates managed to get all the kills in that team fight. Even if I die, I think it is still worth it.
Well played.
Now that I have completed Antiquaras, it is time to buy the item to further reduce Chang'e's damage. Instead of Athena shield as mentioned in the earlier part of the video, I went for Oracle as I realized they do not have magic damage that can burst me down easily. This is how I usually select my items. Let me show you a few examples. When facing mages without burst combos, like Esmeralda, Nana and Alice, I would go for Oracle. On the other hand, if facing heroes with instant one-shot combo, like Eudora, Aurora, and Kagura, I would normally go for Athena Shield. Currently, MLBB does not really have an item to counter continuous magic damage like Chang'e and Kimmy, which is why I would usually go for Athena Shield. However, when encountering these enemies, I would normally pick heroes such as Beleric, Baxia, and Lolita, who can still do pretty well when facing them even with Oracle, which offers better stats like CDR.
Ult is ready.
Here, Johnson was acting pretty sus. He decided to drive into the tower and commit suicide.
I am your shield.
I guess he wanted to destroy the turret really badly, but he hesitated too much based on his movement. In my opinion, it could have been destroyed if he did not run out of its range. Regardless, because of what he did, we can pretty much confirm that the enemies will come this way next.
Your team destroyed the turret.
Is it just me or Chang'e hitting the shield really sounds satisfying?
Your team destroyed a turret.
By the way, I would like you to pay attention to my movement speed after being attacked by Hylos. It is extremely slow. This makes me think of an idea that he could probably be a really good tank to be played as the side laner, so I actually tried playing him this way. In one of my upcoming videos, I would feature a really interesting gameplay of using Hylos as a side laner.
Run out on us all. Your team destroyed a turret.
In case you are wondering why I decided to retreat, that was because I am 100% going to die if I don't, and the condition was already not looking good to continue fighting. No point giving extra gold to the enemies if there is no chance that you can continue tanking for your team.
We're ahead in gold.
Basically, as a tank, I would buy the 4 items, which are Roaming Mask, Boots, and the first 2 core defensive items in the order I mentioned earlier. After buying them, I would normally buy what I need based on the game situation. I would normally go for Immortality, so that I can help my team for a longer time in a team fight. If the enemy's marksman was getting out of hand, I would go for Dominance Ice, which can reduce their attack speed, after completing Immortality. This was not looking good. Our jungler is dead, and they have more people alive. They're gonna make the most epic comeback thanks to Guinevere's jump, which almost wiped us out earlier.
Battle spell and cooldown.
We are definitely gonna lose this. We don't have retribution as our jungler is dead. They're surely gonna take the Lord and end the game. Or are they?
Well, good game. Request backup. Run out attack. Battle spell and
Most of us have used up our skills. Better to back off a little and focus on objectives instead of kills. Too bad we didn't have minions in the enemy's base, otherwise we could have ended it right there. In order to end the game, the enemy's waves must be cleared so that ours can go into their base.
Ult is ready. Ult is
Well, this is what you get for targeting a tank when his teammates are near him.
We're ahead in gold.
I noticed Johnson was driving, so it is the right time to force a team fight now and wipe the enemies out. Once again, I'm going to take advantage of the bush, so my ultimate skill effects will be invisible to the enemies. Just one perfect setup by Johnson and we could end the game. This is why tanks are so important in any match. That's all for this video, guys. That is how I would normally build any tank heroes in the game in order to sustain the most effective way from early to late game. I hope you learned something. Also, Lolita is such a fun hero to play with. Consider playing her when you meet the most annoying heroes in the current meta, such as Chang'e and Granger. If you like this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. Feel free to share it with your friends so we can all learn together. As always, thanks for watching.